Hi everyone, it's Samantha with Embracing the Divine Feminine again, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I was debating on what topics to talk about, and I decided to talk about perfectionism. And the reason why is I've kind of been running into that. I don't feel like I'm a perfectionist. I have high standards and I like quality when I'm working on something. Now, the reason I brought this up is because I feel like I've been struggling with this a little bit, and it just puzzles me because I don't feel like a perfectionist. So, let me tell you what I run into. So, I have started creating macrame as just something fun to do, something to relax with as I'm watching TV. And it's totally for me. I just came home one day and I was like, I'm going to start creating macrame. So I didn't know how. I had a stick and I had some string, and I've been starting and learning. And I felt like I haven't been very hard on myself. But when I look back, I think I have, because sometimes I will just create a piece, and the whole time I'm creating, sometimes you do have to adjust and maybe put a different stitch somewhere that might be different than the pattern or something like this. So it kind of gives you a creative outlet also to problem solve and create a solution to make this thing look beautiful. Now, and I know this sounds interesting because it's a wall hanging, right? So really, is it that big of a deal? But I've just been finding that I will work on something. It'll be a piece, I'll finish it. And sometimes I feel like it's imperfect, you know? So I'll put it away. I'll be like, I just can't. I can't look at this thing anymore. So I'll just put it away. I have this big closet and it can handle like these really big sticks. So I've got like all kinds of wall hangings in there, and purses. I've made ornaments. When I do something, I usually pretty much go full bore, and I'm going to be doing it quite a bit because I move all the time. And I don't know if that's a great thing, but it's just part of my personality. So when I sit, I like to do things with my hands. So why not create beautiful wall hangings? So anyway, the other day, now it could be weeks before I pull these out again. And now that it's getting to be the holidays, I'm like, well, let's just maybe sell some of these things. And every time I pull them out, I look at them and I think, wow, this looks really good. And I can't see that thing that I was so upset about before. So I don't know. This is something that I feel like I've been struggling with. I don't know if you guys have a great solution for it, because the thing is like I say, I don't really feel like a perfectionist, but I feel like I maybe have those tendencies. But I can leave a margin of error and be okay with it. Like I love these wall hangings. When I pull them out, I think they're beautiful and I'm willing to let them go. But if I were to do that like right after I'm done, I don't think I would want to send it out. So it's very interesting. It's a sneaky little thing. And then also when it comes to sound healing, right? Because I'm a sound healer, and I play music more by feel and sound, not necessarily knowing notes or anything like this. And so now that I've started creating music and putting it online and things, the sound quality for me sounds a little different, right? So I really have to be careful to understand the intention that I put into things, the love that is there, and the sound that I create is good enough. And so sometimes, I can be critical of that. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have great solutions for this, because I feel like this is one thing that's just coming up, but that kind of at the end of my journey because I've really been working on myself and, trauma and all of these things. And like I say, I really don't feel like I'm a perfectionist, but I do like high quality. If I'm going to do something, I like to do it pretty well. I don't think it has to be perfect, but there is a margin of error that is okay, and it's okay to let it go because I know the amount of love and effort and time and intention that I've put into everything. So it's really this interesting thing. I almost think that my mind sometimes is playing tricks on me when I will put that away and then I'll go back and look at it and it looks completely different to me. It really is almost like I jumped a timeline and I came back and I'm like, wow, look at this amazing piece of work. Like I made a purse and I was doing this stitch and it was like the same stitch. And for me, I like that rapid change. And so it really was challenging for me to work on this purse that had the same stitch for just, it seemed like days and days and days. I was doing this stitch and I was so tired of it by the time I was done. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this thing. I think it was more about just the particular stitch. But here's the thing is I won't let myself not finish it. Okay. And I've talked to people about that. Like there's a lot of artists and stuff that will just not finish pieces. And I know it's probably because of this, but I have typically been known as the closer, right? Because I will come in, no matter how hard it is, I will come in and finish things. And whether I like it or I enjoy it or whatever, I don't know. That's just something that I have the perseverance to do. Now, I ran into this when I was doing a flip. I flipped a property in Arcadia, which is a really cool area, kind of near Scottsdale in the Phoenix area. And I was working with a contractor and he was not a perfectionist by any means, right? This guy could not seem to get anything done. Everything was like, just off a little bit. Okay, now that's what drove me crazy, was that I would have to come in and I would finish these things, or I'd have to hire an extra person just to make sure that it was high quality. If somebody's going to pay $600,000 for a home, like they deserve to have it right. So, but yes, so that's part of my personality as well, is the closing aspect of it, where I won't allow myself to not complete it. So I'm still learning about myself in this area, and I would love to hear what you guys deal with, if you deal with the same thing, because like I say, I don't really feel like a perfectionist. And so it's kind of surprising to me that I keep dealing with this. And really for it to seem like my mind is playing tricks on me. So, and that's what I'm seeing in these wall hangings. But you know what's coming out? The message for me is that when you put your heart into it and your love into it, I'm sorry, my cat's playing with my instrument over here that we're going to use later. But, I looked at it as the love that I put into it is being reflected back to me when I look at it. And this is the thing, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to move this because my cat just wants to play with everything. Sorry, kitty. So that's the thing that I am learning the most about this perfectionism thing I'm dealing with right now, is when I am bringing these pieces back out, I feel like, because it's being reflected, right? We're mirroring and we're reflecting, that, wow, I was able to create this beautiful piece. And the amount of love that I put into it, I truly see it. I truly see it when I look back at it. It looks wonderful. And I'm so happy to go gift that to somebody because I feel the love in it. I don't see the imperfection. I can't, honestly, most of the time, I can't even find that imperfection that made me set it aside. So, what that's telling me is that, and actually, I have been really happy lately about the love that I put into things and the presentation and everything of when I'm putting my time, energy, and effort into something, the amount of love that I see in it, and I know that I'm passing on to others. So this will be something I'm continually working on. Sorry, I have itchy nose. But this is something that I will keep reflecting on because, like I said, I don't feel like a perfectionist. So, and I think the reason this is kind of playing tricks on me, and it's all within me, this is not coming from anywhere else. Nobody ever says anything besides positive things about my macrame, so, or my music for that matter. And there are days, that could be off a little bit on the music, but not usually. I'm not hearing anything like that because I feel like when I play music, I'm channeling. I'm channeling the music through. I play it through my body. I feel it in my body. And I know what it's doing to the people in my class. I can feel it. So what I have decided is to just sit back and relax a little bit and quit being so judgy, right? If you look at a while back, I had another video that I created on judgment. And, sometimes we can be our own worst critic. And I've known that before, but I have really relaxed on myself to just try to do the best I can and be the best I can be, and try to touch as many people as I can with love and help them understand how valuable they are to this whole world in the process of what we're doing, because we're all so different. So as myself, as being an energetic leader, right, I'm stating this is something I'm working on still, because it's a reflection. I keep having these things reflected back to me, and it's really kind of twisting my mind a little bit. So I'm going to keep messing with that a little bit. So, but some of the things that can cause us to be perfectionists, of course, is if we came from, excuse me, if we came from a home where our parents were very critical. Our personalities can also be, if we want high quality, like I've always kind of been this way, like just higher quality that I would like to present. Like even in school, I was always very studious. I was that kid that, just super paid attention, and, that could have come from, I had a pretty strict mom. Maybe that's where it came from. I'm not sure. But some people can use it as a coping mechanism as well. It kind of keeps people off your back if you're doing things well. Excuse me. But like with work or whatever, if you're doing a good job, people are off your back and you really don't hear much, right? The last thing you want is your boss calling you all the time. So it can be a coping mechanism also, just to keep people off your back. Social pressures, I don't know, it depends. I've worked with people that could really care less about the type of job they're doing, and this was in healthcare. I mean, they would do a great job for the patient, which is excellent, but then as being a coworker, they would totally just slack on their job and leave it for everyone else. So, that's part of the social pressure, where at least do a decent job to make sure you're not dumping your job on somebody else. So fear-based beliefs also, so that's probably more of the parental thing. Like, am I going to get in trouble if I don't do it well or don't do it good enough? Trauma or past criticism, if people have criticized you for whatever, it could be the clothes you wear, the way you do things, or like I was married to a narcissist, and I know that he was very critical, hypercritical of what my kids were doing and how they were doing it, cleaning, and he was OCD. So yeah, so we all kind of had some trauma that we had to release from that. Now, some of this perfectionism could be lingering from that, but I don't necessarily think so, because I had that underlying thing where I always wanted to do well, be good, stay out of trouble. It's probably because of my strict mom. So, and then temperament. So this is part of my temperament for sure, is I like to do a good job no matter what I'm doing. If I'm cleaning the house, if I am cooking, I don't want to cook a bad meal and not have anyone enjoy it. I feel like I put my love into my food to share with the family. So, and as being a stay-at-home mom, I really was able to do that, really put a lot of love into the household, which I really think was a good thing. And I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy, goodness. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, this is something that we will be talking more about. I feel like it's kind of one of my last things that has come up for me to look at and to shine a light on, to say, how can I keep performing, keep creating, and be okay with what I'm creating and not feel like it has to be perfect. In fact, I have a friend who is an artist, okay, just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I've talked to him before about creating pieces, and then at the end, you just leave it just imperfect, just imperfect. And then that's another thing where I'll go back in later and I can't find it, or I don't care. But there's this mentality of wanting to create something new, okay? And I think this could be the artist or the creative person. Like, there's just something you want to create. You want to do it, no matter what it is. Say it's, I don't know, painting Wile E. Coyote, say. You just want to do it. You want to know who he is. Like, you're researching it. You're checking out the colors and everything. You get everything to do it. You create it. It's half done. You move on. You don't want to do it anymore. So that's a little interesting thing. I will be doing more reflection on this, and I'm not sure if you deal with this. I would love to hear it below. But I'm just trying to get better every day and be easier on myself, because I know that I have a lot of heart and I have a lot of love to share with you in what I create, what I share with you. So, comment below. Let me know how you're doing with this perfectionism thing, and if there's things that can help you tweak your mind. Right now, I just kind of feel like it's a game within my mind, and so it's kind of freaking me out. But I'm going to be researching more into it. So I love you guys. I just kind of want to clear my energy field, clear our energy field, kind of let some of this perfectionism go. And like I say, even though I don't feel like I'm a perfectionist, here we go. We're going to bring ourselves back into our body, okay? Here we go. What is today? Today is the 25th. Okay, here we go. Big breath in. Let's call ourselves back into our body. November 25th, 2025. Again, big breath in. I call myself back into my body, November 25th, 2025. One more time. Big breath in. I call myself fully into my body, November 25th, 2025. Okay. Focus on your heart here. We're just going to kind of open up the heart. Just feel that. Feel that in your heart. Just release it. Release anything that feels tight in there. Just allow it to float up like effervescent bubbles. Just out. It can go out, up, wherever. Let it go. Okay, and here we go. I'm gonna shake you off. We're gonna clear our energy field. Okay, it's a little bit loud, but it feels great. Feel the energy moving out, like those effervescent bubbles. Here we go. And there we go. So just know you can clear your energy field at any time. I use this, of course, but you could use anything, from your kitchen. You could use a pan and a spoon, right? Just, of course, watch your ears, but this thing really helps clear stuck energy. So this is one of my go-tos, and I also have a brass one that I got in Egypt that I love to use. But this one kind of has like a little bubble effect, and I really like it, but it can get really loud, and it's excellent for clearing your energy field. So I love you guys. Thank you so much.